Hey guys, thanks for clicking. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I set up my first ever bullet journal. And I know what you guys might be thinking. It's literally June. Why are you starting a bullet journal now in the middle of the year? Well, now that we're all in quarantine, I have nothing else to do with my time, and since there's a global pandemic happening, I figured I might as well try to get my life together in the form of planning. I've used planners in the past, but I've always felt restricted by the pre-made layout, and so I'm really excited to have something that will give me more flexibility in planning out my day. And also, since I am not somebody who really checks my planner like every day religiously, which is a habit that I am trying to fix, I've often found myself leaving weeks of my planner blank at a time, which ends up being both a waste of paper and a waste of money. So just having something like this that I can use whenever I want is going to be really helpful, because then I won't feel like I'm letting stuff go to waste. So my bullet journal is not going to be super advanced because I'm a bullet journal newbie. So I'm sorry if you're disappointed by my simple-ish spreads. I mean, I think they'll improve over time, but hopefully they'll be helpful and give you some inspiration. Let me know. And so without further ado, let's get into how I made my bullet journal. I'm using the leuttchrum 1917 notebook that pretty much everybody uses. I went with a orange color because I wanted something funky and fresh. For pens, I'm using the Muji .38 black pen. Next, we have these mildliner highlighters to add a pop of color to my pages. And of course, we have to have our trusty pencil and eraser. Opening up the journal, there's a page for you to write your name and address, so I filled out my name, Julie. And next, there are a lot of index pages so that you can create a table of contents for your journal. I kept the cover page of this bullet journal really simple by just writing 2020 and 2021 with a highlighter. And I wrote these 2 years because I'm planning to use this planner for the next school year. Now I am just outlining my highlighter with my black pen and then adding a couple of stars for decoration. Turning the page, you'll see a grid spacing guide, and I already filled this out because I kind of needed it to fill out the rest of the pages. And to the right, I am just writing out the words self-portrait. Here, I'm just going to reflect on where I am right now and where I want to be. Now we're getting to the most time-intensive spread of my bullet journal, which is the future log. I'm just drawing out the months from June to May, and it's perfect that it ends in May because that's when the semester ends. I don't know if you've noticed, but I gave the bottom half of the page a little bit more room, and that's because December and May are typically months that I have my finals in, and so I know that there's going to be more events taking place during those times, and I wanted to give them a little bit more extra space. Now we've reached the goals page. I've just divided this page into 4 sections. In the first section, I have space for my yearly goals, and then I also have my summer goals, and then on the bottom, I have fall and spring, one for each semester of my university. Then to the right of that, I've just written highlights on the top, and this is just to put any notable events that happened throughout the year. This next set of pages are where I put the things that I want to check out. There are 4 categories of items, and this includes films, TV shows, books, and lastly, places. I know we're all stuck in quarantine, but a girl can dream of traveling. Under each category, I drew out a box to write down the list of stuff I want to check out. The space around it is just for my notes and what I've been liking within each category. Finally, we've reached our monthly setup. Here I am drawing a calendar for June. You'll notice me accidentally mess up on the first line. I did draw it a little bit longer than the rest of them, but it's okay because bullet journaling shouldn't be something that you stress out about. And as a former perfectionist myself, I often just have to remind myself that it's okay for things to be a little bit messy. On the right of the calendar, I have a space for my goals and for my notes. Oh yes, no bullet journal is complete without a bunch of trackers. On the top, I created a habit tracker, and on the bottom, I created a sleep tracker, because I really need to catch up from years of sleep deprivation. For my habit tracker, I'm using symbols to represent different things to track, and so, for example, I'm drawing a bunch of Z's for any time that I sleep before midnight. On the right of that, I just have another space for notes. Now for the weekly spread. I wanted to keep the spread super simple because I know myself, and if I try to make it too complicated, I'm not going to be consistent with this journal. I divided the page into 8 squares, and in the first square, I have space to write down my tasks for the week, and below that, I have space for, you guessed it, more notes. I also went ahead and made the second week for the month as well, and for this spread I wanted to do something a little bit different and try out a time log. I split the page into 7 columns, one for each day of the week. In each column I have a little section to write down my tasks for the day, and underneath that I wrote out the time from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So there you have it. That's my completed bullet journal, and here is the final flip through of all of the spreads that I made. That is my completed bullet journal. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my face.
It's not for me to say you